Hey everyone, this is Will Ward with Prime Lending. Today is Friday, February 3rd. On last week's market update, you heard me review and discuss some real estate data for 2016 on both a national level and more locally in the St. Louis and Kansas City metro areas. So this week I want to spend just a little bit of time tying some of that information out and illustrate how it relates to the current mortgage interest rate environment and the impact that movements in interest rates can have for prospective home buyers in a couple different areas. One, on your monthly payment, and two, how it impacts your home affordability or your buying power if you're a consumer in today's market, or whether or not you're deciding whether 2017 is the right time for you to jump in and make a move. So hopefully you'll find some of this information beneficial, especially as it relates to how you begin your path to homeownership and plan a budget for your monthly expenses. So a lot of you have probably heard me talk about Freddie Mac's weekly primary mortgage market survey over the last few videos, so I want to start there. So back in the first week of November, right before the election, and right around the time when interest rates started to creep up, according to Freddie Mac, the national average for the 30-year fixed rate mortgage was at 3.54%. So using a scenario of a $200,000 purchase price, 20% down payment, so a $160,000 loan amount, your principal and interest payment at 3.54% would be $722.05 a month. Fast forward 3 months, and at the end of this week, Freddie Mac announced that the national average for the 30-year fixed rate mortgage had moved to 4.19%, which was unchanged from last week's figure, which is great. However, over the last 3 months, that means we've seen about 0.6% movement in interest rates on that 30-year fixed rate note. So all in all, that has about a $60 a month impact on your monthly payment from $722.05 to $781.49 over the last 3 months. So fast forward through 2017, if we continue to see a rise in interest rates, say from 4.25% to 4.5% at a $160,000 loan amount, that's going to have an additional $30 a month impact on your monthly payment. So over a 3.5% to 4.5% difference, a 1% rise in interest rates on a $160,000 loan, you're going to see about a $90 a month difference in your monthly payment. So while that by itself may not prevent you from entering the marketplace, it's important that you factor that into the equation in addition to things such as monthly utility bills, homeowners insurance, real estate taxes, potential homeowners association fees, cable and internet, and things like that. And the next thing I want to touch on is home affordability or buying power and how movements in interest rates can impact what you can actually afford to buy. So using a scenario of a potential home buyer who is pre-approved for a home loan with a maximum principal and interest payment of $900 a month at a 4.25% interest rate, 4.25%, that home buyer can afford a $203,000 house. Say that interest rate in that scenario moves from 4.25% to 4.5%, that prospective homeowner has lost about $6,000 in buying power as they've moved from a $203,000 house down to a $197,000 house at that same $900 a month principal and interest payment. Now say there's an additional 0.25% rise, so all in all you move from 4.25 to 4.75% at a $900 a month principal and interest payment, that prospective homeowner has lost about $12,000 in total buying power. So you can see kind of how some of these things will tend to pinch a home buyer, especially one in a market like we're seeing now, where it's definitely seller trending and home values are on the rise and there's very low levels of inventory. A lot of people are getting into bidding wars with other home buyers over the same property. It's important to factor these kind of decisions in when you think if today is a good time to get in the market or whether it's worth waiting 6 to 12 months and seeing how things shake out. So if you'd like me to put together a scenario based on your financial situation and homeownership goals, I'd love to talk with you more about this in depth. A couple other news and notes. The Fed decided to leave the Fed funds rate unchanged following their monthly meeting and announcement this week, which was largely to be expected, though we are still anticipating a couple rate hikes from them on the Fed funds rate throughout 2017, assuming the economic data continues in the same direction. So if I can be of any assistance to you, please feel free to give me a call on my cell phone at 816-206-4014 or email me at will.ward@primelending.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk soon.